family, it's another great moment and a great season to be in your presence. Welcome again to Bible Expository. It's one of the exciting moments to be together like a family again, for us to reason and parabolise what the scripture is trying to say. The voice of God is the voice of direction, it is the voice of guidance. Without the scriptures, we will lack direction. It's a good moment for us to begin to hit again the like button, the share button, and the comment section. It's a moment and a season you cannot afford to miss. I call it the school of the Spirit. And God brings us here to give us education, not just to our human body, but also to our spirit. And so there's an edification that is about to come from the high palace of heaven. While I was thinking about what God began to share with me, I began to ask myself some few questions, which we are going to be looking at today. Child of God, the greatest mistake that one would do is not to understand the composition for which you are created. The Bible said you are created in the image of God and after His likeness. You were created in the image of God and after His likeness. So you're God kind. That's the first thing you need to understand today. You are a God kind. You are not a failure kind. You are a God kind. That person you look at and you feel you are worthless, you don't have any value. Child of God, you are God kind. You were wonderfully, carefully fashioned and made by God. My God. If I stop here today and go, I have said enough. You are God kind. You are in the God class. Child of God. I don't know if anybody has told you this. You are in the God class. You were fashioned in the image of God. You were tailor-made and tailor-designed by God Himself. The fullness of Godhead bodily dwells in you. And so there is no situation, there is no challenge of life that you cannot overcome. All power has been given to Jesus. And when He was leaving, He said to us, occupy till I come. We are going to be looking at a critical topic that is captioned, the glory in the clay pot. The first thing you need to know is the potency of the clay pot. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 7. King James says, but this glory is found in the earthen vessel. That's a combination. The glory is found in earthen vessel. That the excellency of His grace might be. Child of God, I couldn't recover from the scripture. God is not a waster. He is the best banker that I have ever met in life. He stored living bread in a box without the refrigerating or icing temperature for 10 years. The living bread is found in the Ark of the Covenant. God is the highest preservative and preservation that I have seen. Why would He put glory in a perishable material? When I was thinking about this, I said to myself, that is a version of me that is yet to come. And I decided to go on a spiritual journey, to discover that version of me that I have not yet met. He said, the treasure in an eaten vessel, an earthen vessel containing glory, glory in a clay pot, an earthen vessel. He said that the excellency of his power might be, some other translation use, may be of God and not of us. What's he trying to say? Child of God, you are the strongest force on the planet Earth. The strongest energy that God created in the whole of the universe is man. After man, there is nothing that looks like God. But there is a scientific process of an earth nature that you need to see now. Man is a tripartite nature. He has a body, a soul, and a spirit. And all of them are from God. There is a part of God that formed the sun. And so God conducted a verification test. And he decided to make man a tripartite nature. Which of them is the earthen vessel? That's the flesh. Remember, the judgment of the flesh has been passed. And the Bible said it's profit nothing. So the words I speak to you, these words are both spirits and they are life. And so there has been a conductor. Oh, child of God, you need to listen to me. Get somebody on the phone. You need to get that person on the phone. You need to get that person on the phone. That person needs to be on board. Call your mother, call your father now. Call your siblings. Ask them to switch on. That something is coming. If you disintegrate man, what you are going to find is gas. That is why man rejects anything in the gaseous state. Man is a combination of silicon and oxygen. And in the combination of these two things, you are having a solid state, hosted by the liquid state. Someone has been asking. The Bible said that water covereth the earth. And God said, let there be separation between the land and the water. Where did the water go to? Man of God, this is going to hit you strong. Child of God, this is going to hit you strong. God placed those water inside of you. If you dry up the liquid inside of you, you are dead. God invested what has been on the earth. The liquid they are looking for, planet Earth, is inside of man. And every strength that water possesses, man possesses it. We have defined matter as anything that has mass, volume, and can occupy space. Man is also a solid state, but there is a reason why anything that is gaseous that enters into your system rejects it automatically. The first is that God preserved the gaseous state for himself alone, because he is a spirit completely. But he now puts the treasure in a partly spirit and then partly matter, which is partly water, because man is water, and then partly solid. And so anytime a complete gaseous substance gets into your system, it's toxic. For example, when you smoke, you exhale the smoke back because your body rejects it. Because God prepared that food for only himself. He gave the solid and the liquid to man. And then he took the gaseous states. The first question is why? Why man? Why did God invest in man? He said there is a treasure. The definition of treasure is anything of high value. And so God valued man to the real extent that he found man competent enough to host him. The treasure is not the physical. No. The treasure that he has put in the 18th verse, it means that if you get into the body of a man and you begin to conduct a research, there is something that God has put in man. That thing is not supposed to be part of the man. But God factored it when he was creating man and called it his treasure. Because he says that the excellence of his power. Now, a combination of two strong political statements, excellence and power. You know, when they call it the excellence in politics, it means you have a great reputation. And then he's talking about power, meaning authority. So influence. Before we get there, child of God, we need to conduct a research. What did God put? Because he says that the excellence might be. Now that word, you need to understand. Number one, take the word power. Then number two, take the word excellence. But there is a contradiction to the statement, because he said that the excellency of the power may, not must. So, what is now making the decision is beyond the power and is beyond the excellence. Because it says that the excellence of the power may be of God and not of us. So there is a possibility, there is a probability, there is a chance. Child of God needs to listen. That you are going to decide to make the excellence to be of you and not of God. And so when you have understood that, then there needs to be a verification to conducted to now see what is this treasure that he hid in the earthen vessel. What is the treasure? The treasure is your mind. It's the seat of your thoughts. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. When he created man, he gave the man the will, the mind to decide. Choice. You can now decide that you are an evolutionary process, a product of evolution. That is to say that monkeys are your forefathers. Someone can come up with a lot of theologies, philosophies of man, and say that man is a product of the cosmos, that the earth was formed by a big bang, following the Big Bang theory. There are so many postulations about man. And God is not going to interfere because he has decided that you will decide that the excellence of power might be of him or you. Oh my God. The mind is the seat of the decision. The thought pattern is produced from the mind. The strongest thing on earth is the mind. There are more than 2 billion connections in the human brain. The brain, that's a radio. That is a treasure that is hidden in the earthen vessel. And that was why God protected it, to show you how important it is. He protected it with a gadget called the skull. Oh my God. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Child of God, do you know that you are carrying a heavy treasure? What differentiates us from animals is our thinking ability. Do you know that imagination is equal to movement? Anytime there is an imagination, you have made a movement. But this treasure, child of God, you are not dull. You are not. That treasure is very costly. You have to activate it. You have to train it. You have to build it to begin to think and behave like a God that it is. Because that brain, that your mind is in the God class. You can beat any hurdle. You can beat the challenges of life if you can develop your brain. The information you feed it with is what determines how much glory that the Creator is going to take. Side of God. Someone called you a failure, you are not a failure. You are a big treasure in the hands of. They said at this point you can never develop beyond this. It's not true. We can break that barrier. We can move away from that limitation. Change your belief system. Change your mentality. Whatever the mind can achieve, can think of, the hands can achieve. Oh, Jesus. Child of God need to hear this. You don't only need to know if it is the voice of God. The source of the voice matters. Because you need to verify the source to be sure that this source does not fail. That treasure is your security. Is your passport to greatness. The stage where you are right now is the stage of your brain development. You need to train it now. Get into schemes that will begin to develop you. Schemes that will be able to build you up and give you an inheritance among those that are sanctified. Don't lose your mind. It's not yet over. It's not a time for you to throw in the towel. Remember, you have a treasure. But the treasure is in an earthen vessel. Glory in a clay pot. When they look at you, your physical configuration might not say much. But the moment you open your mouth, here comes the state of your development. The treasure begins to show itself. Most times, certain treasures are not even attractive. The value of the crude oil, if you look at it by how attractive it is, you're not interested. When you find gold in its raw state, you're not interested. Because all those things are products and processes of mining. But when you get them and refine them, that is training them up, developing them to their fullest potentials, then you'll be surprised what you have in your hands. Today, make up your mind. Get a mentor. Get a spiritual father. Tell yourself, it's my time to develop. It's my time to become something else. And as you begin to do that, you'll be refined. And before you know it, from a raw material to a finished product. And then you'll be ready to hit the market. Until next time, shalom.